Hey, lead gen hustlers! Welcome to another episode of the Lead Gen Hustlers on the Lead Gen Hustlers channel. And today I want to talk with you about cold email copywriting, or to be more exact, today you are watching a cold email copywriting masterclass. In other words, I'm going to show you how to craft messages for your cold email or cold LinkedIn campaigns that will get you over 50+% reply rates and get you a ton of new clients each month. Either these are the clients for yourself or the clients for your clients, since you are the lead generation agency. So without further ado, let's get started. The first thing that I want to show you are the two immutable laws of cold email copywriting. By the way, during this entire video, when I say cold email, I also mean cold LinkedIn outreach. So these two are the principles from this masterclass can be implemented in both of them. So in general, this is a cold outbound sales copywriting masterclass. Let's call it like that, but it's easier to say cold email. So the first thing that I want to show you are these two immutable laws of cold email copywriting. And why they're important? Well, once we go through them, you would change your entire mindset about cold email and LinkedIn outreach. So the first question that I want to ask you is, what is the goal of cold email? Like, is the goal to sell more deals, to close more clients? What's the goal? Like, what are you trying to achieve with this? Well, let me tell you this. The goal of cold email is not to close more deals or to get more clients. The goal of cold email or LinkedIn outreach is to get a reply. And that's the only thing that your entire sequence should focus on, to get a reply. Why to get a reply? Because we need, in order to close a deal, we need to build a relationship. And to build that relationship, we need a conversation with someone. And to get to that conversation, we need first to hear out from them. So that's why we are using cold email or LinkedIn. We are using it to send messages so we can get a reply from the prospect, start building a relationship, and eventually close the deal with them. So, and once you take a look at cold email in this way, writing your emails, writing your scripts, your messages is going to be different, because you know that now you're not trying to sell anything, you're trying to get a reply and to build a relationship. And to be honest, utopia where we send cold emails and we get replies back from the prospect saying, hey, this sounds great, sign me up, hey, here is your money, take it, it doesn't exist. It's never going to exist. And that's the reason why 99% of cold email outreach and LinkedIn outreach campaigns don't work, because people are expecting new clients, they're not expecting new relationships. And once you change this shift in your mindset, you will naturally start writing better emails. But let's go to the second law. What's the goal of each sentence? Like, every part of your cold email or cold LinkedIn message must have a specific goal. And you'll probably think that I'm silly right now, but every sentence has a goal as well. And the goal of each sentence is to make prospects read the next sentence. And it's as simple as that. So, whenever next time you sit in front of your desk and you start writing your cold email, you write one sentence and you ask yourself, is this sentence good enough? And will this sentence make my reader read the next sentence? Doesn't want to read the next sentence. If he doesn't want to read the next sentence, he will just close the email, move it to spam, and that's it. You're done. But in reality, every sentence should motivate your reader to read the next sentence, and then the next, and the next, and the next, until the last one, which should motivate them to reply back to you. And it's as simple as that. When you take a cold outreach from this kind of a perspective, from a burst perspective, you have sentences in an email. The goal of every sentence is to make readers read the next sentence, and the goal of the entire email is to make them get back to you to reply with whatever. And then you're using that reply to build a relationship and slowly nurture that lead and close a deal with them. And that these are the two immutable laws of cold email outreach. So now let's start with the actual copywriting. Now, when we know the basics, we know that each email has a purpose to get a reply, and each sentence has a purpose to make prospects read the next sentence, and so on. So let's actually start writing our emails. So the first thing is, how do we write our subject lines? And when you're thinking about subject lines, you need to look at them as a hook. As a hook that will make people intrigued about your email and eventually open it. And that's the goal, that's the purpose of the subject line. However, why subject lines are important? Because people naturally have a very high internal spam filters. And especially today, when we are bombarded with thousands of messages and ads and posts the entire day from our phones, billboards, laptops, social media, whatever, we know we just scan things, and only 0.51% of things catch our attention. And if your subject line is not good enough, then people will either immediately mark it as spam, or they won't even notice your email. They will take a look at it and forget about it a millisecond later. So people naturally have a very high internal spam filters. And as a subject line, the goal of subject line, there are two basically goals of subject lines. The first one is to pass those internal spam filters, and the second one is to make prospects open your email. And the prospects will only open emails that are either sent by their friends and family, emails that are urgent, or emails that are sent by investors or employees. So your goal is to kind of camouflage your email so it might look like it's urgent, or it's sent from a friend, or it's sent from an investor, employee, or whatever that is. Now, we are not, of course, talking about some shady tactics of doing this, right? I mean, it is going to probably get your email open, but you're not going to get a reply, which is the end goal, right? What are the elements of subject lines that don't pass these internal spam filters? And let's be honest, you saw these kinds of subject lines over and over again, and you know that they are called emails. When you get email from friend, colleague, email that's urgent, or email from investor and employee, these emails won't mention your first name, city, or anything like that in the subject line. Subject lines won't be long, subject lines won't be too personalized, they won't be too detailed, probably won't have all uppercase letters, and probably won't have questions or any other marks, question marks or any other types of marks. So these are kind of things that or actually, let me phrase the sentence like this: 99% of emails fail because their subject lines scream from miles ahead, "Hey, I'm a cold email, open me up." Right? That's the reason why cold email doesn't work. So, how do we pass these internal spam filters? How should your subject line look like? It's easy. It must look natural. You can even use all lowercase letters, doesn't matter. It needs to be short, like 2, 3, eventually 4 words max, but like 2 or 3 words, that's all it takes. And subject line, of course, must be relevant to the body and the purpose of your email, but not too detailed. And the biggest mistakes, well, let me just plug this in, and I'll continue later. Subject lines. The biggest mistake I see that people make when creating cold email campaigns is that they include prospect's first name in the subject lines. They think it's going to make it more personalized, and it's somehow going to amaze prospects. So the prospects may think, wow, this guy knows my first name. Wow, good job. No, it's actually going to make things even worse. So Subject lines, they need to be natural, they need to be short, max 2 or 3 words, probably try to include all lowercase letters, doesn't matter, and they need to be relevant. And with all of that in mind, here are some of my personally best performing subject lines, but all the content we saw so far you can use to write your own subject lines that are more relevant to the kind of emails that you send or the kind of emails that you send for your clients. And my best performing subject lines, some of them are general, some of them are not, are as follows. Quick question. Lead for you if you're selling your lead generation services. Your thoughts on this, or perhaps even thoughts on this. Opinion on X, but still very short. X should be 1-2 words max. New leads, new deals, referral. Those are kinds of subject lines I use the most when sending cold emails, and those are the kinds that perform the best. And now, when we know how to write a winning cold email subject lines, let's see how to write the body of our email or a LinkedIn message that will actually get us a reply. So, the three great pillars of cold emails are great hook, relevancy, and achievable dreams. And if you have all of these three pillars, your email is going to work and you will probably get 10, 15, 20% reply rate. So let's go through them one by one. Hook. The purpose is to get people to open the email and read the first sentence. Relevancy is to get people to read the entire email and to make that email somehow connect with them, to be connected with that email. And achievable dreams is to get people to take action and get back to you. Now, great hook, we already talked about that. It's subject line, but it's also the first sentence. And the first sentence, usually the best case scenario is that first sentence of your email is both hook and relevant. So, relevancy, it's tied with your ideal customer persona. And in order to write emails that are relevant, we need to know our ICP. And when I say the emails that are relevant and that we need to know our ICP, I don't mean that email is relevant if you say, if you start your email with, "Hey Michael, how is weather in New York?" Like, that's not relevant. That's not gonna catch people's attention. And again, that screams from miles away, "Hey, I'm a cold email." No, we don't need that. We don't need that. We actually need to know our ICP way, way better. And the basic things are, what are their biggest problems they're trying to solve? What's the background of these problems and why can't they solve them? What are their dreams? What actions have they tried so far to solve these problems, or why the dream outcome didn't work and why that didn't work, right? Those are the 5 most important questions that you need to know about your ICP. And we're going to see that in an example right now. Let's imagine that you, as a lead generation agency, you work with a client who is a content marketing agency that serves CBD e-commerce brands. Here's an example. Biggest problem, getting new customers. Problem, the background, why that problem occurs, because CBD brands are not allowed to advertise, or they are, but with a lot of restrictions, to advertise on Facebook and Instagram, leaving them with alternative ways of getting new customers. Dreams? Well, of course, as any entrepreneur, being able to sit on the beach, enjoy time with family without constantly chasing new customers. What they did, they tried SEO, but it didn't work because the niche is too saturated, and everyone does SEO in some specific kind of way. So those are the problems, right? And that's what we say when I say relevancy. And later down the line, we're gonna see how to use that relevancy inside the email. Now, some general practices about writing cold emails and writing the body. Again, each sentence must make your reader want to read more. Keep sentences and detailed emails short. No one is going to have time to read 200-word emails. It needs to be short, straight to the point. That's it. One sentence, maximum 1.5 per paragraph, because we want to make our emails mobile friendly. And still, this doesn't mean that your sentence needs to have 50 words. No, short sentences, one sentence per paragraph. Let that be the rule. Try to follow that. Don't over personalize your emails, because if you're trying too hard, it's not going to work. You need to find the balance between no personalization at all and over personalization, something in the middle. That's what works the best. And of course, make sure that your personalization is relevant to the prospect. Mentioning your prospect's city, headquarters address, I don't know, name of the parents, like those things doesn't matter. The personalization needs to be relevant to the problem that you're solving and the problem that they have. That's the personalization that needs to exist. Not the city name, not the countryman, not his title, God forsake. Everyone knows his title, everyone knows his first name. Those are not personalizations. First name, of course, goes without saying. You need to have that. If you don't have that these days, then you're doomed. So first name is a must, and the rest of the personalization, it needs to be relevant to the problem that they have and the problem that you're solving and your solution. So with the relevancy about our CBD prospects, with these tips on how to write body of your emails, let's see how I personally would write. And I've used this campaign in the past and it brought significant results. So this is an email that I was sending for one of my clients. Keywords to rank, that's a subject line, very simple subject line, 3 words, it piques interest. Hey, first name. Now, relevancy hook personalization. This is also personalization. Since you are not allowed to pay ads on Facebook and Instagram, how do you generate new customers for brand name? Again, personalization over here. I did a quick research and found that you're not ranking for these 3 keywords. And this over here is a personalization that's specifically account relevant. This personalization about in the first sentence, it's relevant to the niche. It's enough to get us into the doors, to get us in the room, right? It's enough for prospects to want to open the email and to catch their attention. But now we are using account relevant personalization. So high-end personalization on the account level. And here are the keywords that you're missing. Keyword 1, keyword 2, keyword 3. All of these keywords have the potential to make you 23K plus new sales each month. Let me know if you're interested, and I can send you more opportunities, offer to help without asking for anything in return. And this is how we get a reply. We're not asking for anything in return. We are building relationship with this. This email in one of the campaigns that I was running for my agency brought us 7 different CBD clients. Here is another example, right? So the beginning is similar, so another version. The beginning is same, but you change the later part. Instead of all of these keywords have potential to make you 23K plus in new sales a month, we went with my team already ranked a similar skincare company, client name, for keywords like keyword example, and after 2 months, they got amount of money in new sales. And this is what I say, achievable dreams. It's a success story. I'm mentioning a success story relevant to the prospect that I'm reaching out. If your prospect is a CBD company, it doesn't make sense to give them a success story on how you got sales for some software company. It doesn't make any sense. So if you're using success stories for these kind of achievable dreams, then they need to be very relevant. And I end this email with, if you're interested, I can send you an in-depth action plan with all the costs and return on investment. Why I like this finishing line? You save their time and give exactly what they want immediately, because those are the questions that they would ask you the first. Plus, you're transparent from the beginning. And that's it. That's how you write emails when you have niche and account relevant personalization and information. But what happens when you don't have that? Here is another formula, more like a general formula for cold emails that will also get you replies. And you should use this formula as a general guide. Even if you do have things to personalize, so the niche relevant personalization, or even if you don't have. So the formula that works the best for me. I start my emails with trigger on the problem, offer, C2A, and personalized PS section. Here is an example. Hey, first name. So you're currently hiring for sales. So here is a current example, right? So you're currently hiring for sales reps. Good sales reps are hard to find, plus expensive, while the ones with less experience need more training and support. My team and I are doing lead generation for other industry companies, such as these and these, for whom increased sales by 19%. We can get you 20 booked meetings a month. You don't pay for no shows, only for quality leads. We can get you up and running in a week with the first meeting being booked in less than 12 days. Are you up for a quick 15-minute call? Let me know. Cheers, Zugi. P.S. Did you went to coffee name at this address in their city? My friend from the same city as the prospect is obsessed with that place. Now, this email is a little bit longer. It's always better to be shorter than this. But here's why this email works. Hey, first name. So you're currently hiring for sales reps. This is trigger because I'm using this campaign and I send it to the people who are indeed currently hiring on sales reps. Problem: good sales reps are hard to find, plus expensive, with the one with less experience need more training and support. So I'm touch basing the problem here, and I'm showing a social proof right after. Companies such as similar company with them, we increase sales by this and that in that time frame. Then I go with offer, right? Now I go with offer, and then I go with a CTA. And to make the email even more relevant, I'm putting down a personalized PS section that's quite still not overused. And how to write your emails when there are no obvious relevance triggers that you can use as in the previous emails. Problem you solve, outcome, success story, and the personalization at the end. And here is the example. Keywords to rank again in our content agency example. Here, first name, I see brand name doesn't rank for both keywords such as keyword. That's a problem that we are trying to solve. These keywords usually bring a lot of sales quickly. That's the outcome that they're going to get. Now you go with a relevant success story. For example, we helped our client rank for 25 plus both keywords in 3 months, resulting in 29K new monthly sales each month. And call to action: do you want me to send you full action plan with keyword research? Asking for nothing in return. So we're trying to build a relationship here. Cheers, Oogie. That's it. Short. That's it. Short. And to get their attention even more, PS out of the box personalization. Again, similar as in the previous example. So this is how you write your emails, and this is the formula that you need to follow. This is the formula and playbook for writing emails that get replies. What about follow-ups? Well, follow-ups are, of course, the process and the mindset and the frameworks are pretty much the same for the follow-ups as well. Only thing that I like to do in follow-ups is I like to mention different customer problems because one ICP might have three problems and not all three of them will be relevant to one prospect. Perhaps the second or the third one will be. So I like to tie all three problems that my customers might be facing in the next follow-ups. And I like to recycle sales collateral and success stories. Why so? Because on average, in order to get a reply and even later down the line to close a deal, in order to close a deal with someone, people need to have trust in you. They won't give you two, four, five, $10,000 a month if they don't trust you. It's as simple as that. And in order for someone to start trusting you, they need, and this is scientifically proven, they need to have around 5 to 8 hours of time with you or to consume your content for 5 to 8 hours. So I like to bombard them. I mean, of course, not in a spammy way, but I like to show them different case studies and different sales collaterals, different success stories every time in every follow up. And here's my follow up structure. So it's simple as different problem angle, success story, call to action. And the call to action is always, it's not, I don't like call to actions such as, do you have 15 minutes next week to discuss? Now, as a call to action, I like to offer help, and I usually just ask people, do you want my help on these? Free strings, no hard strings attached, free of charge, whatever. Can I send you 100 more examples of this? Or can I do I have some spare time next week. Do you want me to do a landing page breakdown? Like whatever is the service that I sell. Now you might basically do a work sometimes for free, but if you do a good work, back it up with success stories, people will get attached to it, and they would continue the conversation with you and potentially sign a deal with you. Uh, but one more thing to keep in mind is that people usually don't reply not because your emails suck or not because they don't have those problems that you solve. They usually don't reply simply because it's not the right time, not because your emails are bad. So the most important thing is to keep following up. Rarely who will answer you in the first email. So when I take a look at all the campaigns that I've done in the past few years, I can safely assume that only 20% of the emails, of the replies I got so far, were the replies on the first email. All the 80% were the replies from the second, third, fifth, sixth, seventh email, and even more. And this is my follow up structure, because since it's usually not the right time for someone to reply, or even though they got uh, attracted to my offer, my email, whatever, it's not the right time, so it's not end of the world. They will get back later to us. I mean, they won't get back later to us because they would forget about us. And that's why you use follow ups. And this is my follow up structure. So I send the initial email, I send the first follow up, usually 2 days after the initial email, and then we go. Follow up number 2, 3 days after the last follow up. Follow up number 3, 4 days after the last follow up. As the time passed, I increased the time between my follow ups so I won't be too spammy. Follow up 4, 7 days, follow up 5, 7 days, now even more, 6, 10 days, 7, 10 days. Now I'm giving them space. And with my 8th follow up, I am sending it 30 days later, then 15 days, then again 30 days, then 15 days. If they're not attracted to it so far, I will touch back again in 90 or so days, and then I will send a few more emails in a shorter time span, and that's pretty much it. So that's pretty much. Oops! Fuck me. So yeah, this is my follow-up structure, and that's pretty much it. Thank you very much for watching this cold email and LinkedIn outreach copywriting masterclass. To quickly recap, goal of each email is to get a reply. Goal of each sentence you write is to make people read the next sentence. Write your cold emails in a way that you follow these goals. Whenever you write a one sentence in your cold email, ask yourself, will my prospects want to read more, or will they just delete the email, leave it, do whatever they want with them? That's the first thing. Subject lines, they need to be natural. They need to bypass the internal spam filters. The best way to do that is to write natural subject lines, very few 2 or 3 words, no personalization, but still a little bit relevant to the email that you're sending. The biggest pillars of cold email are great hook, which you use as a subject line for that, and you also use niche relevant personalization or certain triggers that you find about the prospect in the first sentence as a hook. Then the relevance email needs to be relevant and achievable dreams. You need to show the prospects that they can trust you and that you've done this in the past. And when it comes to the follow-ups, recycle different sales collateral and follow up a lot and often, because the main reason why people don't respond is not because your email is bad eventually, but I mean, there is that, of course. I can safely assume that 98% of all cold emails are not worth replying. But if you follow this practice, people won't reply to you not because the email is bad, but because it's simply not the right time. And that's why you need to follow up with them all the time. So thanks again for watching this. Lead Gen Hustlers media brand. We publish a ton of guides for lead generation agencies on our website. I'm gonna put a link in the comments. But we also host a very exclusive community for lead generation founders, where we show them exclusive content on how to build a 240K per year lead gen agency. So make sure that you join the community. I'm leaving the link in the description of this video. Thank you very much. This was Ugi from the Lead Gen Hustlers and Expandy. Now, happy grinding, happy hustling, my fellow Lead Gen Hustlers. Bye bye.